depriving Nigerians of their constitutional rights. The constitution provides for every Nigerian the right to public assembly, and specifically provides for the right of political parties to gather and to campaign and have access to the people. Section 42 of the constitution provides for the right of Nigerian citizens to own immovable property and use them. Now Executive Order 22 completely runs against that. The governor is staying there in government house and saying, I can't use my property, I can't give it to who I want, I can't use. I mean, it is just do everything contrary to constitution and democracy, coming from somebody who is raised up by democracy.
All right, we'll have to take a break, and of course after the break talk some more. But I remember being on this very program with Mr. Chris Finebone, who's the Commissioner for Information, and he was talking about defacement of the state, posting billboards and posters in places where it should not be, and it poses power from a particular law. I'm going to try to get exactly what he said after the break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. It still is Road to 2023 on 92.3 Nigeria Info. I've been having conversations with Dr. C.A.J. Chinwo. He's a constitutional lawyer, and we have been talking about the River State Police and Governor Wike's executive order. Of course, this comes as the National Security Advisor reeled out a warning to governors, urging them to desist from using thugs to intimidate or impress political opponents. Also, the IG of Police has said that CPs, which is Commissioners of Police, should stop enabling governors to intimidate political opponents. It seems from the body language that might be happening in River State, but of course we would need to confirm whether or not that's what the executive order is looking to achieve. You're welcome once again, Dr. Chinwo.
Thank you very much.
All right, so before the break we were talking about the powers of executive order and how it draws its powers from an existing law. I was having conversations with Mr. Chris Finebone, and Mr. Finebone said something about an Urban Development Act, if I'm not mistaken, and to quote a few things he said, we're looking too politically at this. These were his words. Some of those people who are complaining might find themselves complaining that overnight a church got erected by their bedroom and they cannot sleep. So he was looking at the sanity of states. Oh, noise pollution, defacing the environment, urban development, as you would say. Do you see this as a valid point to the argument?
No, just sophistry. That's sophistry. And that young man, unfortunately, well, maybe it's, I don't know what is the calling of the burden of the work and position he occupies now. When you see a person turn contrary to everything he has said, it can be very, very challenging for a society. I say, as I'm saying, I say, God forbid that I'll have cause tomorrow to be in a position where I will see an executive order 21 and 22 and justify it. So if I'm a person of integrity and a position to advise, I must advise my governor. Last time here, a colleague was asking me, the Attorney General has not that advice them. I must advise and be ready to say, look, if you are not going to take this advice and expect to enforce this law, sorry, I'm going away. But these days, when people take position, appointments and act as if their life depends on it, every society is in crisis that have such people. Because why I'm saying this, because I know that Chris Finebone was a very famous spokesman for APC in this state, and everybody knew that Chris Finebone would have been in the forefront of condemning this, not just because it's a opposition party, but because of what if I got it right then, because what I thought he was speaking from conviction. Because you see him now trying to clutch for a reason. And you go and find a far-fetched, somebody can wake up and the church has elected, and all that for the 8 years of Governor Wike's, the churches have not arisen, churches have elected, it's just electing now with the election. All these have not been around. You have not sought to go and find the Urban Development Act or whichever law he's referring to. I mean, even if it's even Urban Development Act, which should be a federal law, does it have the power as a state government to enforce the executive order? No, now. But I'm sure he didn't make some reference to such law, because urban development, if it's an act, it's federally, it should be under the federal government. So, but the point I'm making is that that's a far-stretched, overstretched rationalization of the executive order 21 and 22. Because that is also not the intention of the governor. It's very clear. In the executive order 21, it's very clear political meetings, public institutions must get permission, pay 5 million. That is the punitive penalty stated there. It's not a cautionary deposit. If it was, it would be refundable. It's not refundable. And yet, it even said that you must be given permission. He said then they may consider giving permission. Order 22 is saying in your private houses you can't use it for any other thing except to have permission of the governor or whoever is enforcing for him. So I mean, with all due respect to Chris Finebone, I haven't met him physically before. But at least even if I'm sleeping, I know his voice. And I expected that he should be consistent in his presentations to the public.
Well, speaking about consistency, I'm not speaking in defense of Mr. Finebone.
Yes.
But I have also been in positions where a conviction I held yesterday is different from what I know now.
Yes.
Thanks to new knowledge.
Yes.
And, so these things happen where I could believe one thing today, defend it. If you're a Christian, you know the story of Paul.
Yes.
Who persecuted
killing.
Exactly. So
turned out to be the.
This may or may not be the case, but a person changing lanes.
Yeah. Well, ordinarily, it can even be a virtue. It could be a virtue when people can see that you moved on from being a destroyer to a builder. It's a virtue when people see that you moved on from being a liar to a truth teller. It's a virtue when people saw that you are from being a thief, you are now somebody producing. But when you change, that people who knew you and held you for doing the positive things, and they still know that those things are the positive things, they see you are doing the negative things, and you have no scruples to turn. Then that kind of inconsistency was a challenge for you and for the society. Right. So now, I mean, I wasn't born a Christian. By some time I gave my life to Christ, I became a Christian. And I want to stand by it. And everybody who has known me, I think, with all sense of modesty, have said that it's a virtuous way I'm living. So when I turn and doing everything correct to that, people have right to say, when did you back? That's what we in Christianity we call it backsliding. When did you backslide from the truth? When did you backslide from light? When did you backslide from the positive thing? When did you backslide from building and destroying? That's where inconsistency becomes a challenge.
So let's get back to the conversation. We're not focusing on Chris Feinbone here. All right, we'd like you to be a part of the conversation. There are many more questions for my guests, but I'd like to hear from you now. How do you think the CP should handle the executive orders 21 and 22? Do you think and believe that the Commissioner of Police for River State has the capacity to do something about it? Call me and tell me. 070-0923-0923 070-0923-0923. WhatsApp is 080-903-06416. Remember, we're live on Facebook and Twitter. That means you can watch as you listen. You can also make your voice heard on those platforms. I already have a comment here from Emmanuel Ibama. As Wike is trying to cause problems in River State, when the problem will start, it will affect everybody, because River State will not size some people. I wonder what you mean by that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm calling from Port. My name is Eddie.
All right, go ahead.
Eddie, yeah, and I'm also a member of People's Democratic Party.
Okay.
In River State. And my position is one. You know why this whole thing boils down in the hands of the IGP. Because one, a state governor, a president can make a law. The person whom the law behoves to enforce is the police. It's only the police that can enforce those laws. Now, my challenge over some of these laws is that these same laws will turn back to Winchon, our executive governor, tomorrow. And by then, he may no longer be in the office. So I therefore use this opportunity to call on the Attorney General of River State to advise our governor accordingly. Because these laws will work against him tomorrow. These laws are not better ones at all. They are unknown. These laws are enemies to human beings. So please, I am begging my governor. He's my governor. I would like him to withdraw this type of law, because by tomorrow, this same law will stand against him.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. A point of minor correction. I'm sure it was an honest mistake. The president, the governor, does not make the law. The lawmakers do. That's the legislative arm of government. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning. This is Patrick.
All right, Patrick, go ahead.
Yes, can you hear me? This is Patrick. I'm calling.
Yes, I can hear you, Patrick. Please go ahead.
Okay, please, I don't say so much. What I want to say is that I just want to thank you since you've been having this program on Saturday. Today has been the first time you brought someone I feel has integrity, that is not partisan, is speaking truth to power. I think you should keep on with this, because all the previous programs we have, the person is bringing up, and they see the truth and they see black, white, and call it black. Thank you.
I wanted to react to that, but a man of faith, so I'll resist that temptation. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Sam Chinedu. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Dr. C.A.J, I greet you. I'm Dr. Dennis Anyagwara.
Oh, thank you.
Good morning.
I'm greatly disappointed with Africa, especially Nigeria. Nigeria does not want to move forward at all. There are specific distinctions between executive, legislature, and the judiciary. All are supposed to be men of respect. You should know the way. The executive should know the way. The legislature should know the way. And all of you should head one direction. But here, some people subsume their own powers to the others because of a pot of porridge. I have been, while I was a student leader in India, where the police came and arrested Chief Minister M. Raghupati in 1984. I was in his house. Police said, "Sir, you have to come in this car." And the man tried to enter his car. They busted his tire. The police arrested Obasanjo and put him on chains. The police arrested who are all our leaders. They have enormous power. They must respect themselves. And the Constitution is very clear. Very clear in the sense that no laws anywhere in Nigeria could be made that will supersede the laws of or as contained in our Constitution. So any other law made by any other person is inferior to the laws of the Constitution and therefore is unlawful. And the police knows that they should never obey unlawful orders. I wonder how people who think they are human beings will have to subjugate their own dignity, their own self-respect to another person because maybe he's going to give money. I'm really sorry that our children, in fact, I'm made arrangements. All my children are living in Nigeria. We do not have a space in a place like this. Thank you.
Dr. Dennis, who will fix the Nigeria for us?
Who will fix it, Dr. Dennis?
Who? Tell me. Hello, good morning. All right, call back if you can. Okay, I'll be going to Facebook shortly, where I have some comments waiting to be taken. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Yes, it's Jules.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is an executive order. I don't know why some people are just kind of bothering themselves. The governor said that, and it's not only Governor Wike, a state governor who down, Kogi state governor did the same thing. We have playgrounds, almost all the communities. You know what I'm telling you? It's not necessary that he must campaign in government facilities or primary school or secondary school. No. The government did not stop anybody to do campaign. People are just misunderstanding the whole thing. He did not stop any political party to do campaign because it's what he experienced at the past after doing whatever they did in the primary school. They will damage some certain things and they will not pay. So he said if you want to use government facilities or premises, pay some amount of money. The price is 2 weeks before the particular date. I don't think it's wrong. If you cannot go to the playground like we in my place now, that is I'm from Elewa. We should do campaign in this playground, my own playground. We should do campaign. People will still come there. Not that you know, use the primary school, secondary school. No. People are just misquoting motivated. There's not going to be a problem anymore. Because we will be arrested. So if you cannot use primary school, go to the playground and use it for a campaign. That's my advice. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Chinwo. I'm certain you have some reaction to...
Yeah, the gentleman is spoken well, but I told him, and I've said it often, if you go around, tell me where he comes from, Ilelewan, and all that. I'm saying that, and I've challenged them, there is no community in Obiagbo. And that's when government fails, it puts its failure on the people. There's no community in Obiagbo where you have a civic center that accommodate 5,000 people standing. Not even sitting down. Obiagbo local government. If the playground is talking about the Ilelewan, that is one. Number two, if you say, and the fact that, Ebonyi had it, Ebonyi still came here and copied it. And that is the problem. We're always good at copying the wrong thing. Now, but even if all the states in the federation have executive order, I will still say the same thing I'm saying. It's not a partisan consideration now. This issue of legality and constitutionality. You don't have right to make an executive order to detract from the people's constitutional rights. That is very basic. And so, to tell me that they do it in Kogi State, they do it in other place, does it make it right? No, it doesn't. And they fancied idea that people will eat rice and eat that. And if it was that, well, that's where we would have had what we call caution deposit. If you don't clean this thing when you go, I have a family hall. When you hire the hall, you pay keep a caution deposit. If you don't clean up when you go, this is what it will cost us. But if you do clean up, we will refund to you. That would have been so now. Here it is 5 million naira non-refundable deposit. When the governor was not trying to sit down to justify, before you now remember that if people eat rice and drink pure water, is it me that will clean it? But you didn't answer. If I clean it, why do you keep my 5 million? So that's what the people should have understood. And you know, the young man who is talking, we must get up to understand and view things objectively, because like the one earlier caller said, assuming the governor tomorrow has built a very beautiful house, personal residence, tomorrow he's no more governor, and whoever becomes governor, maybe it's not his best friend, and the person says, governor, real estate, you can't, you know, you want to have host a meeting of equity lawyers together, we are over 500, and they say that is a public gathering, you can't host it in your house. You know, these are the things that people should learn to run the state by the golden rule. You can't host it in your house. How is he going to feel? That's why that young man gave him thank God that is a warrior, objective PDP man, and I advised him, please, this kind of law is not good for you. And that is the thing, because you can't emasculate people in a society where you should have expected people to manifest, grow up and exercise their rights. You are constricting those rights because you have power. That's what we're talking about, and that's what is not good for any society. And it doesn't matter which party, it doesn't matter which group, it doesn't matter which governor. I will say what I'm saying. Because I'm not saying it because it's against Governor Wike. I'm saying it because Rivers State belongs to all of us and is bigger than all of us. And we must protect it that concern all of us.
Okay. So let's go to WhatsApp. Andrew, my name is Sam. Sam, not Andrew. The legal man in the studio has said all, but CP of Rivers State cannot, because he claims that I won't use the word he used here, but basically says he cannot. Just like the State House of Assembly, Rivers State Governor has all his instruments come 2023. That's from Maxit. Good morning. Your guest is spot on with his comment about the conduct of Mr. Finebone. Okay, your next two paragraphs speak on Mr. Finebone. I really don't want to dwell on that, so we don't derail the conversation. And he goes on to say his candidate, Sim, is his kinsman, and it's obvious he's supporting Sim for what he stands to gain. All right, Bob from Port Harcourt. In Asaritoru local government area, even when playground was used, it was disrupted by the chairman and his boys. Go and verify, he says. That young man who called to support the executive order must be a special assistant. He's doing his job. But we do not have the identity of the caller. I like to see him as a contributor on the show. We have just a few minutes left to this conversation and a few more questions left to take. Dr. Chinwo, do you make a difference of the IGP and the NSA's warning this time? Do you think that this time it might mean something different? Action will support the words?
Well, it should. As a matter of fact, a political party had approached me and I had written to the IG and copied to other organizations, incidentally a day or two before the IG's comment. And we have called them to ensure that this doesn't happen in Rivers State or any part of this country. So I pray that there's a realization that this is a threat to democracy. And it pains me that this is associated with the governor of my state, my governor, a lawyer, a life bencher. You see, I've said it, that it pains me often also that when lawyers are in government, they have, instead of showing themselves as paragons of obedience to the law, we are beginning to do the other thing wrong. It's not why we went to law school. We didn't go there to learn how to pervert the law. We learned them to learn how to, or we should have learned to learn how to be law-abiding and examples of obedience to law. So when you have power, please use it in a lawful manner. Because as it said in the Bible, law is good if your man uses it lawfully. When you don't use it lawfully, you make law look bad. And that's what challenge the executive order. Ordinarily, it's an instrument. I mean, the American governments use it effectively. When we expect the executive order, for instance, flooding system situation in Rivers State, we saw executive order to enforce emergency relief. It didn't come. It didn't come. People, we had, governor said it was after people have suffered and cried. He said, we are voting 1 billion naira. Some people say for the 3 billion have been released. But you go to what order did you release money to governors or wives of governors or executive in Lagos State and all that? So Executive order should be used for things that serve the interest of the people and pursuant to law, pursuant to the constitution. Once you turn it upside down, you have made the law look dirty.
We have about a minute left. Now, with peace pacts being signed left, right, and center, this happens, in election season, and I'm sure some more will still be signed. Do you think that the opposition parties and politicians should maybe seek another means of campaigning, or just pipe low, as we say, in the pursuit of peace?
No, nobody's going to pipe low. I won't advise any political party to pipe low. Maybe because, maybe what Governor Wike is doing is what he said in Calabar when he had a reception there. He said, if you want power, fight for it. But the consequence of fighting for it in the society is you achieve certain things that doesn't give your government a good image. But and again, when he was fighting for power, I remember 2013-2014, in this state, nobody made any executive order depriving him. I remember that it was at my secondary school, that they conducted their primary. I remember that he went around states and public avenue. And so why do you do this, which you didn't take?
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Chinwo.
It's a pleasure being here.
As much as we can take. I'm sure that you and I will have other opportunities to engage.
Thank you.
Well, that's it on today's edition of Road to 2023. Join us next Saturday at 8 a.m. to catch the updates on the elections, from the candidates to the voting and other related issues. The Road to 2023 is produced by Kalada Korobatubo. See you next time.